Hello everyone, my name is Atratzu, and I know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna do a Minecraft Let's Play series. You see, I was sitting down one day and I was thinking, actually talking to a friend of mine and being like, so I want to share some of the experiences that I had with Minecraft back when I played a crazy amount of Minecraft. Now, I missed the bandwagon for Minecraft, so it's not like this video is gonna get a lot of views or bring a lot of new people to the channel. Honestly, I feel like I really wanted to share this, just to share this with a lot of friends, just to say like, look, this is the stuff that I built, kind of like tell a story progressively as I go through my world. You see, I saved one of my original save states. If you look at the date of the, if I look at the date of the save state, we can tell exactly when I started playing Minecraft anyways on this particular world. So we have here saves, and I made this save. No, that can't be right. I copied it 07, okay, 2016. No, that doesn't make sense. Nope, that doesn't tell it at all. I've been playing Minecraft way longer than that. Anyway, I was just like, I want to share some of the stuff that I had been constructing and working on. So I'm actually going to be taking more of a Let's Player perspective on this particular one. It'll just be a fun project to see if I can do that. I might also need to break it down into smaller other parts because I've got a lot to show on my world. And just disclaimer right now, this is not all me. I will be telling you who helped build this that I can remember. There's some things that I did with Ben, my brother. There are some things that I did with a mutual friend of ours, Josh. There's just a host of friends that have helped me play on the server. Also, one more disclaimer. At the time I set up this game, like eventually I shifted it from being survival to being creative, and I just started to create tons of stuff. The vast majority of what I spent doing on this was survival. If it wasn't survival mode, I will explain ahead of time, but most of this was farming, going down underground, gathering cobblestone for days and days and days. Like, I remember before I would go to work, I would actually go and dig out a mine, which there are plenty of which I can probably show you. Just would dig out everywhere that I could see. So most of the stuff that you'll see are actually constructed out of wood and cobblestone. Also keep in mind the time of Minecraft as well, because I didn't have all of the things that are available now. I've been meaning to go back and going on a Minecraft spree at some point, but I just haven't had the time with all the videos that I'm doing. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Let's get cracking. We have the start screen. I feel like I'm starting this as a review, but that's not going to be a review at all. Single player. This is on my new computer, so I had to move my save state here. Kylo Ren, I put that out to help me remember the villain's name in Star Wars Episode 7. Sorry, brain fart. So I was just like, I'm gonna do that. Okay, version, does that, no, it doesn't tell. I thought it was the version, it would tell it. Dang it. I don't know, I need to look it up sometime. Anyway, ramen noodles, I was hungry at the time. It's actually a secondary name. I don't remember what I named it originally, but ramen noodles was what I came up with, and it stuck so well, because at the time, I ate a ton of ramen noodles. Here we go. Loading world, building terrain. So, welcome to my island. So again, I have flying on, so I can fly around. Let me quickly describe this area for you. Ignore all of the construction right now. Probably kind of tough to do. Ignore all the construction right now. Just see all of the grass area here. Like, this island from like this edge to over about here, and then here, and then a bunch of islands over there. That was all that I had to start on. That is all there was in this area. There was nothing else. There were no trees. It was all dirt, and I died many times on the first night just digging. It was ridiculous. Oh great, now I gotta remember the console command for night. Nah, we'll just tour inside for now. Okay, so what I had to do is I had to swim out to find trees. And so I first had to make a little hut to survive in, and that is what this room was. This room was originally made completely out of dirt, and it was just so that I could hide inside of it. It was just this small boxed-in area. I didn't like changing stuff much, and so what I did is I just basically left it the way that it was, and I replaced it with blocks as I went on. So you'll notice I do have pressure plates and stuff. That's when I made stuff really fancy. But first thing I had to do was get over to the other island where I could get trees. I brought saplings back and I grew these trees here, and I liked them so much that I left them. You can also notice I had a jack-o'-lantern thing. This whole bridge thing here, this was added. It's probably obvious that it was added, but let's go down here just to show that. So it's kind of hard to see. Under here, that is all added, 3 layers deep all the way across. Originally, like again, I couldn't use a boat. I had to swim all the way over here, just pick a direction and go that way. And I didn't get trees until I went all the way up here. Hey there, punk. So I didn't get trees until I made my way right about up here. And my mentality always was, let's build a let's build a base every single spot that I went to. I was like, I want to make a landmark, so I'd always make landmarks. Oh, I should probably turn up the graphics. I'm on a pretty good computer. Oh, beautiful. The original that we had set up was a better example for it, because this was pretty much, let me up. It was closer to the original because I didn't know that there was land in this way. I just picked a direction and I went with it. So this kind of gives it a little bit more clarity as far as where you started off. So you kind of get the idea of where I had to start with, and then I just farmed trees and got apples for the longest time. So very long ago. Let's get back to my entry point. So this is actually, I think the default spawn has been changed in this world, so you no longer spawn in here anymore if you die. I think you either spawn over, you might spawn inside the building, you might spawn on the stairs over here. I think that the world spawn has been changed since when I started, so it's kind of disappointing. Alright then, so the way that I'm thinking of this is I'm going to think of it like giving a tour. So hello, my name is Atratzu, and I will be your tour guide today. First we have the house. So let's just go to bed right here. Initially I just had the first floor, there was nothing else here, and then I added in this area, which was a vault room originally, and I just had chests along in here. Naturally, as the game progresses, you unlock more and more stuff. This was where I went to, get out of here. The mine. Fine, don't close. This is when I had, I went crazy with the, when I figured out how to go server mode, this is one of the things that I did add. I did not farm up the iron to make all of these. I was just like, I know what I want. This, on the other hand, this is original. I had way more furnaces all the way across the back wall here. I use them a lot, because you might have noticed, but I have a bit of a favorite type of stone. Can you guess what type of stone that might be? Get out of here. Let's go down. So, this is the first area that I dug out. There are multiple spots that I dug out around here. Stockpile of lies. There are gonna be many of those. When I got this idea, I was like, let's just do it live right away. Let's not re-explore my world. So this is actually kind of a rediscovering for myself. I remember everything here, but it's not all in the front of my mind. There were many times that I ended up digging out areas where the water would leak in, and so there were many different changes that I had to do. Also this guy. I was just like, I want a guardian. We'll talk about that area up there in a bit. A big part of this also is just kind of like the flow of what I learned how to do at the time. This was where I added a mushroom farm, because my mentality is farm everything. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Not exactly ideal. I tried to get it so that the lighting was just enough that you could have them down here, but apparently the lighting needs to be low enough that the NPCs can spawn as well. Not so ideal. I probably should have moved that a different area, but that's where I'd go to farm mushrooms. Where is it? Here it is. middle mine. That's right. I was trying to label everything where it was. So I was like, all right, I'm in the middle mine now. Now I can mine out here. Now I've got lower, deeper levels, etc. So middle mine, this is where I had this. I was actually envisioning that I would just like slowly expand in layers all the way down. So just so you know, you have orientation. Okay, so let's just get down here. We're at the bottom yet? We're already at the bottom. Wow. Alright, bedrock level 0. This is where I did all the farming. I also had an ender portal down here. I don't remember what that was for. Oh, right. I'm in creative mode. I can make as many of those as I want. Get out of here. Alright. So, I believe all these lanterns up there, those are original. I also wanted company while I was in the mines, so this is going to take a little bit long, so we have to just kind of run our way here. So what I did is I got to the ground layer, and then I just dug out in pretty much any direction. Eventually I did connect it so that there were places that I could pop underground as well. So there are some remnants of some furnaces that I'd used to just smelt things while I was collecting ore and coal. What does this say? Ah! No land. Don't go this way. Lava. Yup. That was an unpleasant discovery at the time, I'm sure. What's over here? And that looks like there was lava over there as well. That wouldn't surprise me. Yep. Lava here. Someone to lava. Anyway, this is an interesting... Everyone's probably seen, like, mined out areas. Point is, I'm trying to establish is, look, I actually did farm the crazy amounts that I needed to be able to explore underground here. So, Thunk. Dang it, didn't want that egg. So, you get the idea. There was tons of these. Actually, here's something a little bit cool. Again, it's not new to people that have actually spent... No. I want to get rid of that. Get out of here. Alright, so I did set up... a lighting system. And that is all... Dang it! Get out of here. Stupid egg. Was up here. So this was all stuff that I had farmed up originally. And just looking at this, I'm just like, wow, this is a terrible mess. I feel terrible looking at it. Oh, great. Am I stuck? I can't remember how to get out of here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. I'm not going to go explore in there. But I did dig around because I didn't want to replant that. So my mentality was that I would dig around the top, because if I broke something and then placed it back, it'd be cobblestone, so I'd have to change it to stone, regular stone. Alright, so let's take this. This was originally what I had set up with, was like a spiraling staircase that you would have to walk up, and it would just be like brr, brr, brr. Which spiral staircases don't really work well in Minecraft, because I don't know if they've changed this, but you could only like put stairs in one direction. You couldn't just put, so you'd have to put them down. So I'd put like four spaces, only 2 could go down, and then the others had to be pointing the other direction so that you could actually get around that, but you'd have to just jump or fall a lot. It was a pain in the butt. I replaced that with a water bucket to simulate a elevator of sorts. Come on. Okay, this spot. So this was the emergency exit in case I needed to get out this way, I guess. And we should be back in the bedroom here. Yes. Alright. We're back to familiar ground. So to get you your orientation, this is going to be where I resort to. This center area is what I will be referring to help you orient where I am inside of my world. So main building, originally dirt house, all that stuff. Look at that. I even label it entrance for you. So, nope, not there yet. After doing so much farming, I eventually got up to the point that I started to build a second layer up here. So I wanted to simulate tables. And so that's what these are all attempting to be, tables. And I always liked building a second layer up because then I could see very easily just like out what was going on around in the area. But there wasn't really much to see around my area because it was all water for the most part. By the way, all these cakes, those are legitimately made. I had just farmed up a crazy amount of materials. Oh, I remember this spot. My first time enchanting things. Looks like the rules have changed. I don't know how that works yet. Music room. Learn about music. And these are not legitimately earned. Nah, no one needs a tutorial on how they actually work. But that's the music room that I had there. Oh, I added more over there, did I? Added this. Dear God, what happened to you? So broken. Well, that wasn't there originally. I had this little patio area out here. So again, this is the way that you go down to get down to all the other rooms. So it was a little bit faster. And then I was like, every house needs an attic. Never mind that I never actually really used the attic. Okay. This is gonna be either amazing or I'm gonna cut it out because I don't want anyone to actually see what I wrote in here. Don't judge my spelling too hard. I still don't spell that great. That well. Alright, what do we have? Construction on the world started summer of 2012. There we go. So, the starting zone was a mound of dirt that was the size of the first floor level room alone. The log has been started on October 27th, 2012. While the current place I'm working is closing for the winter time, there are only 3 more days of work before my long vacation. That was just the type of job that I had. It was very seasonal. Oh, the history of this zone is that it was started on an island. I was forced to swim my way across the ocean, find tree and meat. Once finding trees, I set to moving them back to my main island. The island has had every item transported to it. Correct. Nothing was here originally. Nothing. So everything that you see here was transported here at one point or another. And if you can't tell from just the log, I was very proud of that and still am quite proud of that. Alright, originally this is about all there was to it. And then of course, you know, there's the basic progression. Man, it's weird that you can actually move up blocks now. Oh, that's weird. Later on, I had to add another storeroom to take up more items, and so I added this on here. I don't remember when this one was exactly, but I continued trying to experiment with different ways of managing all the... Whoa! Alright, that's what happens when you load a save file from 2012, I guess. Okay, oak logs... birch. So you can kind of get an idea for just how OCD I am, which again, all of these, you can pretty much trust that they were legitimately farmed up, even though I knew how not to. It's just, like, you'll see enough to be like, even if I didn't farm it up, people would be hopefully a little bit impressed with it. This, oh yeah, chiseled stone. I forgot that I could actually make those. NPC drop items, coal, all the coal. Snow, I really like snow. Oh, this is just... I don't know if I trust this one. I might not have had all those. Who knows, though? It's possible I might have, but I kind of doubt that. I kind of think that some of those I just filled in all the way. No one needs any more explanation for how that works. I'll probably even cut out that whole section. Okay, so let's get back oriented to here. So I get onto my island, I get all situated and start building stuff. The next thing that I wanted to do was to be able to add an easy way to get back over to the other base because there were more resources there, and so that's when I built boats, built kind of a dock area here originally, and then I would just go there and across. But that's a pain because I crash the boats all the time. So what I did is I built the land bridge here, and that worked out, you know, so worked out fine. I was able to take this all the way up to this area. Then I added multiple ways to get through. So here's one way to get up here. So you climb all the way around here. I remember this area. I turned this into my den of chickens. Ah, dang it. Get out of here. And the one lonely cow, because I was trying to keep the livestock in one spot because I figured they'd be safer if they're in one spot. And so I just dug down so that they couldn't get out. And every time I would visit this place, I'd drop down and then throw eggs to get more chickens. So there really wasn't much breeding that I did with those back in the give them wheat and they have a good time. Although for the chickens, it was seeds. So I was always experimenting with different ways of being able to construct. So again, don't judge me too harshly on how terrible stuff might look. These were the first types of buildings that I ever built. So I made this ground flat and I was trying to farm absolutely everywhere. This is anything but optimized. Oh, it's even frozen. That's different. They must have changed that. Originally, you could farm up here with no problem. This was obviously not optimized, but I was just like, let's grow as much as we can with as little water as we can. So not optimized at all. So it was all like original. This is what I'm going to try. This was originally the highest that you could build in the game. So that's cool. This was another house fort area that I built. That's what my big thing is, and you'll see a trend with that, is that I like building stuff that looks like houses and forts. Under here, I just carved out everything. And I discovered what everyone's already talked about in tutorials and stuff, is that monsters don't spawn when you're on half slabs. So this whole ground is actually a half slab, except for this spot. So I just carved out here, half slabbed it down. It's pretty dark, no point in actually going down here. So, next thing that I started to do, there's another nether portal. Do I have to restart those, I wonder? Oh, I probably closed them for a different reason. Next thing I wanted to do was have a faster way to get back. So by this point, I started to set up rails. Ah! Meh. Really? No one else would think this is funny, but I think it's funny because I remember pushing these people off the ledge. And they've been here the entire game. Just chilling. They're no use to anybody, but they make noises as you go by them. So it's almost done with the first part, and we're not even done touring the first area. This year is when I jumped on the Mandalorian bandwagon and I decided that I wanted to be a Mando. And it was my first attempt at pixel art. Not good at it. Ben is a whole lot better at pixel art. I'm not so great at it. But, I'm gonna have a lot of cutting to make myself not look like a scrub every time I go dunk in the water. So, then you have over here all these vines that I was growing, all the sugar cane that I was growing. I remember creepers would show up in here all the time. That's why I've got lighting sources now, because they'd always spawn in here. I'd never see them and I'd just hear it and then they would explode. Never stood a chance. So eventually I got the idea that I should probably try to explore in another direction. So I'm one of those kind of guys that I get to an area and then I stay there. I don't explore anywhere else, and so I just stay within the know-how. So I wouldn't get lost so much above ground. It was normally below ground in my escapades that I would get lost, which there's no point in even showing anything underground because it doesn't have anything worth note. By the way, lily pads, I added those just to reinforce that. This is when I discovered vertical farms and how to just use even less water in working with them, because I was like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to set it up so that my farms are growing up and out, and I've got fence posts to make sure I don't fall out of them, and I got water, and it was just like keep adding a layer, add a layer, add a layer. Originally it was only 2, and then it was 3, and then it was 4, and it just kept on growing from there. Alright, you've got the portal to the nether. Hey. All of my nether portals have been turned off. Ooh. Hopefully it takes me to the correct nether portal on the other end. Otherwise it's going to be hard to track that area down. Maybe. we're not going to go there yet. Later on, I added this area here to allow better transportation. So this area, does this still work, I wonder? No, get in. I didn't know that you could have more than one power rail, so I had to gauge each power rail at each point. So this was the rail system. Let's see if it actually stops where it's supposed to. It'll be a good test to see. See, that was one of the ones where I ended up using more resources than I needed. I could have just put one torch and then just spread it across like 5, but I had no idea. It was just one at a time, so it's highly impractical, but it worked. It worked well. Look at you. One of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to have a place where I could keep my livestock. So I did the normal thing. I think it's the normal thing. I did the normal thing with coming down here and then just trying to fence in areas, and that didn't work well because I don't know if they fixed this, but the NPCs would glitch through fences, and so it was easier just to put up walls. And by this point, I had discovered that you can actually like turn clay into brick like this. This one was timed. This was my first time with my first experience with using repeaters. So that's how I learned how to actually keep it open for longer. So that was the first time repeater experience. So this was, I forget that I always put that there, so I never needed to look behind myself. Okay, chickens. Swine. So as I did with vertical farming, I want to do vertical farming with this as well so that I could keep more of them in a smaller area. So I did vertical farming as well. Originally I just had a chicken coop that I would jump down in and have to jump around the other end, but that didn't work out so great. And then I ended it off there. All animals had to be brought to this island. So all the basic ones were basically covered over in that other island that we visited. Trying to think how else we can go through this chronologically. What are you doing over here? I didn't have a name tag. I wish I had name tags at the time, because I'm sure I would have come up with an adorable name for him. Is this the harbor? No, no, no. Ha! Harbor! So again, you can see my little attempts at adding style. Oh, this! I remember this. Good times, this. Welcome to Generator Wing. Okay, I get it. Snow generator, because then you could just choose a shovel and keep on digging snow underneath him, and he'd make as much snow as you wanted. I was/am a terrible human being for like imprisoning them and being like, all right, now we can snow forever. It was all for snow's sake. I wonder if this still works. It works. This I cannot take credit for. I watched somebody else on YouTube make these at one point. I don't even remember who it was. If you know who it was, feel free to leave a comment explaining how it was. But it was it was making a cobblestone generator that you have pistons that are constantly pushing the generated cobblestone back up. I also added a village. The plan was eventually to like find villagers and bring them back. Oh, are there villages here now? Benjarius Baytown. I forgot I named that this. Oh yeah. I don't remember if I actually succeeded in actually moving the villagers here. I don't think I did. I think I just spawned them here when I started cheating. That's when I stopped playing this level 2. Hello, blacksmith. Going in for a swim, I see. Well then. So, I built a bunch of different types of houses. These aren't particularly interesting to look at. Laters. So there's not much to say. think I moved cats and dogs around here. Why don't you move anymore? I think they're all permanently stuck now. It's just been so long that they want nothing to do with me anymore. As you can see, there were plans to continue building off in this direction. Those plans were never fulfilled. This was like the lighthouse area. Always very fun to gaze upon the setting sun. Okay, there's another rail there to more areas, which we won't cover yet. We'll cover that in another part of the video. We'll look at that big boat in another time as well. This is the checkered chessboard. So I actually did set it up so I was chessboard dimensions. At one point I wanted to actually construct a chessboard and with chess pieces, but having it only like 4 size squares, that really doesn't work so great. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there you go. 8 by 8. Checkered board. I thought if I had enough friends playing the game, we could all like play chess together. Play wizard's chess. But it was all wishful thinking. Figured I'd never actually have time to actually do it. Then we have over here the enchanting room. Back when beacons didn't do that. Oh, no, the beacons still would do light. Okay. I didn't know that beacons could actually make like a luminescent thing in the air. This was the only way that I could think of to actually get all of the books to feed into the enchantment table. So this is what I did. Had it floating in the air. I was like, it works. It's magical. Good enough. Then I added all of these. What's in here? Ah ha ha. This is how I did the pixel art. I just looked at this. Oops. No. Go back in there. I think I cheated these enchantments as well. I feel like I did. Wait. Do they have multiple enchantments or just one? Okay, multiples, then no. I didn't cheat the enchantments then, I don't think. I didn't know how at the time. Okay, so what else do we have? We've got a whole nother layer up in the air. So I built more furnaces all around here, all the furnaces. Wow, such furnaces. I had to use a lot of stone. I had to keep making it. So that's what I did. What's over here? Okay. So, about this time, I had learned how to make spawners. And spawners was because I didn't have enough NPCs, because I lived on an island. So I actually lived in one of the most ideal places to set up a spawner. Lived on an island. The only places that were unilluminated were underground. So regularly, stuff would not spawn on my island. I was very safe because nothing else is out here. So I built a spawner, which originally just left this big... What now, guys? What now? Which originally just left this big mushroom-looking thing on the top of my island for the longest time. And even now, that's still kind of the way I remember. The way I remember this whole area is you go out here, and then that would just be that mushroom thing on the top. But it was kind of a blemish on my design, which you might not see design, but there very much was. I was always trying to figure out how I could make it look more pretty, and so that's why I made like a whole ring area around here. After I had the Nether Portal, I was like, what'd be cool? I was like, I know, let's just have a ring that you could walk around. Now, mind you, you couldn't just step up on stuff like this. So at this point, this would no longer be safe. It would now be a guard railing or something. But at the time, you could just walk around the edges with no problem at all, and kind of just look down and be like, ooh, look at that. Something that Atratzu has built. You actually couldn't see that monument from here. I would do a lot of things that I'd call monument building, where I'd just build something so that whenever I would go by it, I would know where I was. Landmarks and stuff like that. It'd be easier to find where I was going. So, I'm not going to come back to this area after we move on, I don't think. Anyways, not going to cover this area as in another tour. So let's just cover everything in here first before I move on. This was one of the last things that I built around here, because I had built bases that direction, that direction, that direction, that direction. Actually, no, not that direction. It was only 3 originally. That one never was guaranteed to actually extend. So what I did is I built a hub station, because you see all these other routes would just like weave and go all over the place. I left them there because I just didn't believe in tearing stuff down. Plus, it'd be a pain to try to get that from the bottom of the ocean. Didn't work out so great. So I just left stuff the way they were, and then I would just construct a new thing even higher up above it. Again, I think I was getting pretty close. Oh yeah, that's right. That was so cool. I remember when I discovered that it could make that light just shoot up into the air. I was like, this is so cool. So I set it up here, same setup. I could put a cart here, jump on the cart, press the button to go. So you can see that I tried my absolute best to mirror things. So I had a bit of a design going on, but yeah, there really wasn't much that I could do. I tried my best. And then what I eventually did is I set up a rail system. Now, we're not going to cover the rail system today because that is going to take way too much time to actually cover the rail system, and we've already spent way more time on this area, and I think I've got maybe about 5 monuments around here that we still need to cover before I'm ready to actually go to any other bases other than the ones that we've already covered. Anyway, by this point, I have explained and kind of just told you a little bit about the story about my first few days within Minecraft and the amount of time that I spent working. We haven't explored the Nether, we haven't explored all the other bases. There's still a lot more to go. This was either going to turn into like a 2-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. It was either going to turn into a 2 or 3 hour tour just for how much stuff I have to show, or I'm going to cut it up into different sections. So today, I'm going to cut it up into different sections. We will release another episode later. However, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. We'll have the second episode out pretty soon here. This is going to be my first time actually being able to release multiple episodes. I know this is not a review. Please forgive me. I'm actually just doing this to show it to all of my friends, because let's face it, most of the subscribers that I have right now are actually just friends, Steam friends, people that are interested in my reviews and stuff like that. If you didn't like Minecraft, I'm sorry. This was a part of my heritage. Just like all those nostalgic games that I'll hopefully be getting to reviewing. Those are much a part of me. Commander Keen, stuff like that. Commander Keen, Mario, PlayStation 2, Ratchet & Clank, Beyond Good and Evil. These games are very much a part of me. Minecraft also had its part too. Again, not going to do a Let's Play series. If there was, it would be like a Skyblock or some like challenge type series, but it doesn't belong on my review channel. And this is probably going on my review channel because I'm reviewing my history, my building. I'm giving you a tour, bringing you into my world, most literally. So that's it for this section. We'll be covering a whole lot more in later ones. If you liked it, be sure to tell me if you liked it, and maybe I'll look into stuff like this too, because I know I've got a Terraria world that's got not as much as Minecraft, but I've got other games and stuff that I can show and be like, oh, I can tell you stories about it. If you want to hear these stories, you find them interesting, thumbs it up, leave a comment, say, yep, I liked it. If you didn't, you're welcome to thumb it down as well. I won't be too sad if you do. Please don't! I know I'm not being particularly funny, but hopefully you at least find this interesting. Thank you for watching. My name is Atratzu, and I'll see you next time.